Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Can't believe it's May already, and we have just two more episodes before the end of season 4. Tonight we'll be meeting with Rex from Xzec Gaming and learning about developments in augmented reality and mixed reality. We'll have him join us in a few moments. But first, I wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Kit VR, our incredible landlord slash architect who created this amazing studio we get to work in each week. DJ Marcus J, who's killing it across platforms in the Metaverse with Mr. Block Party Radio, his bi-weekly parties at Club Colors, DJ events, block parties in both venues. He's just doing amazing things to keep the vibe alive. We have Fuchsia, the self-proclaimed VR fitness bully. She's bringing so many people together in friendly competition to improve their overall health. In fact, she just wrapped up the No Fools April Challenge in FitXR, where several members of the community actually took part in it. And our very own community member, G Deuce, she won. So congrats to G Deuce. Then we have Sato Mora, who's been feverishly creating digital content for his digital manga series here in VR, and now creating incredible animated content as well, using VR chat as the backdrop for a lot of it. Second Life Rich, who on many levels is doing things in VR right now, from bling and jewelry to avatars, training classes, hosting events. All of our sponsors are truly making waves in this space. So a few things from the news that I found extremely interesting. So I use ChatGPT a lot, and for me personally, it's great for freshening up content, giving me ideas, helping me with social media, and putting together helpful documents and SOPs. So I often create instructions that I reuse within ChatGPT when I'm trying to get the results that I want. And I always say please and thank you, because you never know, just in case one day AI proves to be a lot more real than we think. I'm going to be the polite one that they're going to spare. So you never know. But as someone who also uses Siri a lot, I wish I had more of a personal conversation mode with ChatGPT. Well, there's actually a really cool update from OpenAI where they just introduced a feature called Memory for ChatGPT, Plus users only though. But it's taking personalization to a whole new level. First, you need to be on a pro account to get in on this action. So right now, I currently don't have one, but I might in the near future, just to be able to access this, because I think it's so cool. Once you're in, you click on your account name. I think it's the bottom left corner. And then you go to settings and personalization, and you flip the switch to enable memory. Now, here's where the magic starts, because you teach ChatGPT to remember what you specifically want in the details simply by mentioning them into the chat, like, hey, remember that I'm a dog fanatic, or remember that I only like to speak in a professional tone. And it will remember that when you give it future instructions. It's really kind of cool. And if you ever need to change it or you want to switch it up, you can go in and tweak it and change it in the manage memory button. So it's really, a nice way to have more of a personalized conversation across the board with ChatGPT. So that's kind of a really cool game changer. And then continuing with AI, this was something else that I thought was really cool this week. I personally do not listen to country music at all, but I heard about Randy Travis, who's a country music icon, and he dropped his first new song in over 10 years. And guess what? He's using AI to bring back his voice after a stroke silenced him. So his latest track is called Where That Came From, and it's the result of training an AI model on his past recordings, and then essentially giving birth to a complete voice clone for him. And the clone isn't flying solo. It's paired with a guide vocals from another singer to create the magic that you'll hear in this song. After a tough battle of a near fatal stroke in 2013, he took his speech. And, this has been really monumental to make a comeback for a 65-year-old music star. I mean, AI's role in music has been a hot topic over the last few months, stirring up buzz and debate. But Travis's comeback shows that AI isn't just all about like gadgets and gizmos. It's about unlocking new avenues for creativity for those who have, challenges. So this is something definitely worth listening to and paying attention to. Also, Elon Musk, he just dropped a new bomb. AI powered summaries of news and social media hitting Twitter. Plus, a brand new stories feature for real time spot on info. Now, here's how it works Grok, X's AI chatbot, is going to sift through tons of posts and giving you quick updates that will refresh as news breaks. So Grok summaries are all about the X or Twitter chatter, not just regurgitating news articles like other AI tools. But right now, stories are VIP access only. They're gearing up for a new launch on that as well. So with Grok Smarts and AI's media moves, we're going to get the digested news regurgitated back to us from all of that. So a new exciting time, right? Well, don't get too excited too soon, because AI-powered news summaries bring convenience and speed, but there's a flip side. Misinterpretation is going to sneak in there, and algorithms are going to condense important things in the news stories into bite-sized bits. And then what if there's bias in there? There's going to be crucial context that's actually going to be, misinterpreted, and misunderstandings are going to come. So there may be some struggle with that, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. So we might embrace the news, but it's essential to stay vigilant and remember, not everything you see on the internet is completely out of the gate. So just be vigilant. So now let's get down to business and learn more about some really cool technology. Let's bring out our guests. So please help me welcome Rex from Xzec Gaming. Rex, please join us. Welcome. Please grab a seat. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Doing great. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining us. We're excited to hear about all these cool things that you're doing. So we talk a lot about VR in here because that's what we're used to. But you have been working in AR, and everybody hears about VR, AR, MR, so augmented reality, mixed reality. Tell us a little bit, what is the difference in all of this?
Yes. So the difference between augmented reality is a virtual overlay out in the real world. So say you're in your living room and you have a pair of glasses on. It'll overlay digital content over like your table or countertop. Mixed reality blends more of what you would experience in virtual reality, but takes it out into the real world, where now you're able to walk around and maybe run into a virtual Superman, or you're able to play like a game like a Grand Theft Auto in the real world. It'll look as if you're like really going through like a real mission, playing like going through a video game in the real world. That's more so what mixed reality allows it to do. Augmented reality is more static digital content. Mixed reality is more where the content is interactable, where it's around you.
Okay. I'm going to be honest, I haven't had a lot of AR experience, just a little bit. I actually play a game called Demio, which allows you an augmented reality. While you're playing it, you can be sitting in your living room and have the board game in front of you. And that's kind of the most that I've experienced it, other than in FitXR, there is an option for you to do one of the different routines is in an AR scenario. But yeah, I'm excited to hear more about this, because we really haven't had too many guests on here talk about it. One of my artist friends, Willow Moon Art, has been on here, and she creates little AR beings that can run around in her yard and stuff, and she posts the videos to Instagram, but I haven't really seen it working. So this will be really cool to learn more about. So tell us a little bit about your journey into AR. Like, we are all in here in VR. Did you start in VR, or did you jump right into AR?
Yes. Well, I started in VR. I saw I saw that the next platform was going to be in VR. It was going to be in VR and MR. I started with VR because that was more widely available at the time. There wasn't too many mixed reality devices that was available at the time when I started. I started the mobile apps, and then I realized that mobile apps is not really going to be it's really coming to an end. So I decided to learn virtual reality myself, learning Unity, learning how to build apps that can get into the stores. First app was a nightclub, which is still active now, Nights VR. And then from there, I pretty much just said, I'm gonna go 100%. And on this, I like mixed reality more because I really saw that that's really where the future is going to be dominated by mixed reality.
Okay. So speaking of the apps that you create, so now you're working with Xzec Gaming. Is Xzec Gaming all you, or is there a staff of people, or is this something that you're doing on your own?
Well, we just hired 2 developers, the freelance developers. I'm still looking for talent to get around that want to build apps. And just a little quick plug. Even if you're a builder on Horizon Worlds or a builder on here, if you know how to build here, you can easily learn how to build in mixed reality as well. So after the show, if you want to see me about that, I can help you. I can help you get acclimated to that because your talent here can be transferred to mixed reality as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that you're offering that out to our audience. I know that there'll be some people who are definitely interested in learning more. That would be really cool to see a partnership happen that way, coming out of here. So, so here we have some of the games and apps that you have created. Let's talk a little bit about them. So you mentioned Nights was your first one, which is the nightclub. So explain how that worked. What were you doing with it?
Yeah, so Nice was my first app that I got into the MetaQuest App Store. So the way the app works was it's a nightclub experience. People could come in, enjoy music, have the club ambiance. As far as with buying champagne, buying a drink and so forth. Of course, it's a virtual drink. But it does allow them to have like the entire nightclub experience. We do have the Nights Miami version. Nights Miami, where you're able to walk down the South Beach Strip. Where you're able to party up and down the virtual Miami Strip. That was one of our first builds. But yeah, Nights was definitely the first thing because I really saw during the pandemic people were in the house. So I said, well, why not the first app be just a nightclub? So that kind of what inspired it.
Okay. So now let's talk about some of these. Now I've been on your Instagram and I've been on your Twitter and I've seen some of these overlays, in action on there. But just let's talk about some of these things if you want to pick a few and kind of give us an overview of how they work and what's going on with them.
Sure. So I'll start with Sneaker X. So Sneaker X is a mixed reality experience in the magically augmented reality glasses where you're able to actually be able to sell product in mixed reality and actually earn money. So what kind of inspired this was I saw the next step was going to be where people were going to be selling not just not just clothing but other services. So if you have not just a t-shirt company, you have a marketing company, you have other things you want to sell, you're going to be selling in mixed reality. So I figured start with something around where we could sell sneakers, in mixed reality, but we can also add up things around it. It was just really a prototype at first, but it's definitely been something that I really see as the next step. And as well as in the same way with our app clothing line. So clothing line is where we sell women's clothes in mixed reality in the glasses. So if I'm walking down the street in New York and a customer and their avatar has their glasses on too, and they're interested in buying some clothes, I use my hands to sell the product, and I earn the money accordingly, and it goes to me. So I would say that's really the direction where my apps are going, where we actually sell things in mixed reality, because I really said that's going to be a big opportunity for people like for people who have a product or have a clothing line that they want to sell things, but they want to go outside of the traditional route of an Amazon or selling through Instagram, where now we provide a platform where they're able to actually sell their products and actually earn in mixed reality.
Okay, so now let me ask you. You mentioned a couple times about the mixed reality glasses. So, do people have to have special glasses in order to do this, or is this something that goes across other platforms besides the glasses?
Well, it does go across other platforms. So we do have a version for medical that we just released. I will be dropping the link. I believe tomorrow. This should be live tomorrow. So
Okay.
we'll be dropping it tomorrow afternoon. But all of this compatible as well. I want to mention this as well. You don't have to have a specific pair of glasses to really be able to experience mixed reality or augmented reality. You have the MetaQuest headset. They're really making a big push towards mixed and augmented reality. So like don't think because you don't have the glasses you can't experience these apps or you can't experience apps like these. They're widely available on this platform as well.
So without your apps here, are there other augmented reality apps already in the headset? I mean, I think I've seen one or two listed, but like, do you think there's a large market in there right now?
Yes. I would say from my last count, it's about maybe 35 apps that are in the mixed reality realm.
Okay.
That's available right now in App Lab. Meta's really making a big push towards that. We just finished a hackathon that I'm competed in, where it's strictly mixed. It's really Meta's focus right now, and I think that it's a huge opportunity for everyone in this room to really get a part of that because that's where a lot of the attention is going.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about a couple other of the apps up here. I see some Bitcoin up there. I see a couple of things that look like maybe there. So tell me, how does that work? What would you even do with that?
Yes. So Crypto Runner is where you're able to check the coin prices and all cryptocurrency prices in real time. So it's like a coin collection game where like say if I'm walking down New York City, I have the glasses on and I see Bitcoin. I walk up to the Bitcoin, I grab it, and then next thing you know, the Bitcoin price shows up right in front of me. It'll ask, do you want to buy or do you want to sell it? That's how that particularly works.
So it's linked to your wallet?
Yeah, I actually put an update up. I'm working on that currently now to where it can connect to your wallet. It was just really a prototype at first. I just wanted to see if it could work. But yeah, we're definitely adding that feature in there as well.
Wow. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so all of these apps are they're currently out there. You can do some of them in Meta, or you will be able to, and some of them are only in the glasses. Now, let's talk about these platforms that you have certain platforms that they work on, including Meta, but there's a whole bunch of other ones that we've that you have listed that these things work on. So let's talk about some of them. And also, when you're creating this stuff, you mentioned earlier, learning Unity and things like that. Are you creating these apps in Unity, Blender, like the same programs that we're using to create, virtual worlds? Or is there other certain programs like e-commerce ends of it that have to be attached into it as well?
Yeah. Well, to build the apps, I use Unity as well as Blender. Now as far as from an e-commerce perspective, we connect we connected through PayPal, Stripe. It's a particular software development kit that's open to merchants who have a merchant account with PayPal. You can connect it to your app rather easily. I would say that's more of an ancillary thing, but primarily we do work specifically with Unity and Blender.
Okay, so see that, all of you Unity and Blender people out there who might be interested in this, you already have the skills. You just need to learn how to convert it over. So that's really cool. So let's talk about these, Xreal and Pico and Varho. Like, tell me a little bit about these, and what are the differences in them? Are they just the same as having VR Chat and Horizon? They're just different platforms, or are there actual real differences between them that make certain things viable only in those apps?
Sure. So I'll start with Xreal. Xreal is more what I work with in the augmented reality glasses space. That one is more platform specific. Where most of the apps that I develop for that goes into the Google Play Store. It's compatible with Google Play. And I would say that would be that as far as the most affordable augmented reality glasses, that is the most affordable. And I work primarily with Magically. Magically at first was more on the consumer side, it was a little bit more affordable, but now because they moved enterprise, it's a little bit more expensive. But fortunately, it is cross-platform. You can bring the same builds you make on Magically and bring it to Meta. It's completely compatible with other platforms as well.
Okay.
I would say the other ones that you have with the Pico VR is a direct competitor with Meta. I would say that it is about probably maybe a few years off from Meta, but it is a good platform to really have your content on, particularly if you're looking to be international, because it's really huge in Europe, China, Japan.
Okay.
But it's a very huge platform, particularly for everyone who's a creator. Look at that platform specifically. If you have an app idea, something to get it on there, it's definitely huge overseas. Third eye gen, I would say is more on the enterprise side, and Snapdragon Spaces is also on the enterprise side. But the best VR headset on that list that you have up there, Varjo. Varjo is the most hyper realistic virtual reality headset, and it kind of goes in with the price as well, which is $4,000. But yeah, yeah. But I would say as far as the most advanced device would be that it's just not widely available.
So now, are there, like, say there's somebody who's interested in getting into this? Are any of them easier to ease into learning what you're doing up there? Are there ones that are certain, just far too difficult to start with, or are they all pretty similar?
I would say it's kind of cliche. I would say start with Meta, because if you know how to build for Meta, you can build for all the other ones. Because now Meta, because they went down the route of making a new operating system where now it's going to be cross-platform, all of those other devices are going to fall in line with Meta as well. So whatever you build for Meta, you can easily transfer to other platforms as well, because they all use the same. They're all going to be using the same type of software. So I would say start with Meta. They have building blocks now. They call it mixed reality building blocks. It's really easy to start. It's simply drag and drop, and then you pretty much put your creativity to it from there.
Okay. So let's talk about what you have upcoming. Like,
Yes.
you did mention you have a couple drops coming out. What is
Yes.
actually coming out that people can look forward to, getting involved in? Is it more gaming, or is it more, lifestyle use?
I would say more so lifestyle use. The focus really now in the mixed reality space is now we're working on a dating platform in mixed reality where where it's not just an avatar. You can actually see the actual person in your headset.
No catfishing?
No catfishing. And also as well, we have a big release coming up very soon for the sampler. I don't know if Kip wanted me to mention that, but we do have a big
Ooh,
we do have a big release coming up for the sampler.
exciting.
It's a pleasure working with those guys. They have a really huge update and a new wrinkle to the sampler that we're bringing to VR. But I would say those are the most exciting things that I'm working with, particularly this year, because it really is a huge platform. I really think that they really have something solid there, and I'm really glad to be a part of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, most of us who are in here right now are very familiar with the sampler. Great, great show, and definitely looking forward to seeing how that integrates. That'll be amazing. Love seeing new technology come out, in our existing worlds and platforms, and seeing people upgrade to it. I mean, that's what this is all about, coming in here and learning more and growing with it. So I'm excited to see all of that. Now, I know you're kind of cross-platform within VR. You go around to other,
hmm
Horizon VR chat and everything. What do you see as, the future of, gaming? Like, where do you see gaming going in general? I mean, the lifestyle stuff is great because it'll be stuff we can use, and, like you said, like the Bitcoin, all of that, the shopping. But
hmm
gaming itself, I mean, like, for those people who came in here not to actually monetize, they actually came in for entertainment. I think a lot of
hmm
us were like blown away by the VR end of it, and just really got immersed into it, and we're like, this is incredible. Now that you're mixing, the AR and the VR, like, Where do you see it going? What do you think could be some of the really cool things that could happen with this?
I would say the future of gaming from a mixed reality standpoint is where now pretty much you'll be playing an actual game out in the real world with your glasses because that's really been the drive. And I've seen a couple of applications, a few demos that's kind of like a GTA style in the
Mm-hmm.
glasses where now you're able to actually play it out in the real world where you're given where a virtual avatar will be like out in the middle of New York. I'm keep saying in New York because I'm in New York, but like it'll be a virtual avatar that that you could talk to in your glasses. It'll say, we have a mission at XYZ. Boom, here's the pay. Blah blah blah. Like you'll really be living almost like the video game as if it's out in the real world with you. I really see that as the future of gaming because the drive with mixed reality for Meta right now is really taking everything that you do in VR and try to adapt it to the real world, to adapt it to the world around you. And I think games
Mm-hmm.
like FitXR, I believe that was the name of it,
Mm-hmm.
FitXR,
Yep.
and they're really going to try to put this really out in the real world because that's really where everyone's going to be using this the most. Where now it's going to be out in the real world, be able to use it at your leisure and pretty much have the same kind of fun.
So it kind of, for those of us who remember Pokemon Go, this kind
Yep.
of,
Hmm.
takes it to a
Yep.
whole nother level because, people thought that was like, oh, that's a kid's thing, but it's really not. I mean, this technology is pretty amazing. And now,
Yep.
you're going to be, like you just said, you're going to get missions, things that you need to do. And I would imagine that, with GPS tracking and things like that, they could customize the gameplay to the area that you're in. So, like you said, you're in New York City. Maybe,
Yep.
you end up doing some sort of a scavenger hunt kind of thing where they send
Yep.
you to places in your
Hmm.
area and the geo tracking helps you, find what you need. That's pretty incredible. I also think it would be kind of cool, when you talk about back to the lifestyle stuff for a second. Let's say you go out to eat in an amazing restaurant in New York and that, the menu and stuff could be built into the glasses. There could be all
Yep.
types of, applications for this. Do you see that as a viable, this is something that's going to be
Oh yeah,
easily accessible
absolutely.
soon?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've actually seen a few apps that are trying to go that direction as far as with where now you get like a virtual menu when you go to a specific restaurant because restaurants
Okay.
now, fashion brands as well, are now all trying to figure out how to integrate what they do already to augment it in a mixed reality. And the Apple Vision Pro, Gucci just released the app on the Apple Vision Pro showing content of their actual fashion show where people are able to actually see the actual fashion show in the headset as if it's like right there in front of them, as if they're really at the fashion show, like in augmented reality.
That is so cool.
So that's definitely the direction that it's going. Everything that you do from how you work and play is all going to be done literally just like that in augmented mixed reality.
I'm so excited to see this stuff. And, I have to say, as someone who is in my headset pretty much 7 days a week for some amount of time, the thought of wearing glasses that are lightweight is like joyous. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm excited for that. But I am also, very excited to see more augmented reality in this headset. I mean,
Yes.
I put it on. I love the fact that I'm immersed in these worlds and everything, but it would be really cool to be able to, for those of us who are in here a lot during the week, we go to nightclubs, we go to Power Hour, we go to Iced Out there, we go to all these different events when we're in here, and it's like, oh, hold on a second, I got to get up and go get a drink, or hold on a second, I got to go let the dog out. It would be so much easier to have the augmented reality and be able to just get up and walk across the room and not walk into the wall. That would be amazing to
Absolutely.
have the ability to switch back and forth, turn it on. I mean, no, we have pass through, but pass through, anybody who's used that on Quest, it's okay. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit distorted. It almost looks like you got a little buzz going and you're like, woo, as you're trying to walk. So it would be really cool to actually have it be, as clear as we see in some of these images here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what would you like to see personally come out in augmented reality and in the near future?
Um, I would actually like to see, and this was actually a goal of mine, but I believe I'm pretty sure maybe I'll get there first, but maybe someone else will. But I really would like to see where people are actually able to work in augmented and mixed reality if they want to, because really what I see a lot of redundancy as far with the office culture a lot of times. I think that everything that you do in the office you can already do at home, or you can actually do on vacation or something like that if you want to. I think now technology has made it to the point where like we're in a generation where we just more of in a culture where everything's automated, and we're used to now where we're sitting in front of screens already. So why should we go to an office to go sit in front of a screen when we can just do it, in glasses or a headset? That's what I would like to see. I would like to see something like that, where it could still have that effect where you're actually meeting people, but I would like it where people can actually, I think, have a little bit more freedom. To work how they want to work rather than work in the traditional way, which is go to an office that get on the train or traveling at a long commute that they don't want to do every day. I think that would alleviate a lot of that, and people would really love more what they do for a living rather than dread it every Monday.
I agree with you completely. I would love to see that too. I'm fortunate to work hybrid so that I don't have to be in the office every day. I've actually been laid up with a broken ankle for the last week and a half now, and I haven't had to go into the office last week. Do you know how much money I saved in gas? Because I put in about $75 a week in gas just to go to work and back. And so I've saved that from being at home. So that is amazing, to work from home. Now, during COVID, I was able to work from home like 100% for 6 months, and I did my job perfectly fine. So, as COVID weakened and people started going back, my company determined it was going to be a hybrid schedule, and I can do 99% of my job from home. And it's like
Absolutely.
I can do Zoom calls. I'm on the computer. We are cloud based anyways. So whether I'm connecting from my desk at home or my desk in the office, it's the same. Now the only difference is, whether or not we're on a Teams call, a Zoom call, or sitting physically in front of each other. Honestly, to save money and for the quality of life and everything that happens when you're sitting at home working, I mean, I don't mind starting earlier and working later because I don't have an hour commute in the morning and an almost 2-hour commute at night. So augmented reality in that aspect, I hear you 100%. I also think that there's a huge amount of opportunity in education. That we see a few things up there on the screen, but I think that education and, bringing children in cultures that are different together. When I was in school, it was like, yeah, we live here in the U.S. and there's all these other countries out there. And until I got old enough to travel on my own, I didn't get to witness any of that. How cool would it be to be able to connect and go see like, different, the Eiffel Tower, or, South America, like go to Machu Picchu in your headset. Like how incredibly cool would that be?
I'll say for mixed reality and augmented reality and virtual reality, you can put that in the category as well. It's actually made the world smaller. Where now someone from Dubai can connect with someone from New York or Maryland or somewhere like that. Like I think this actually makes it easier for people to learn about more of culture rather than having to get on having to overpay to go get on the plane to go to Dubai when they can just actually virtually see Dubai and actually connect with someone from Dubai. I mean, it's great. I mean, you can't take away the experience of actually being there, but I
Of course.
think, but I think making it widely available as a like to get more options to where they can experience it is always a good thing.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, and this, you got to figure, travel is expensive and travel also requires mobility. And there are plenty of people who don't have the ability to actually travel for either one of those reasons. And, with that being available to them, I remember when I first got my headset, even that app Wanda. I mean, I got on there and I started jumping around. I mean, and it's like, yeah, it's very primitive, but you got to go see different places in the world that maybe you only got to see on Google and actually feel like you were kind of there. Now, with the technology changing as rapidly as it is, I expect next year, in between my real travels, I'll be able to just come in, pick a place in the world and go hang out there for a little bit, be having a drink on the beach in one country and be rock climbing in another, and that's pretty cool.
There's an app called it's called Let's VR, where it allows you to experience the travels where other people have gone around the world. You're able to go to
Ooh, I'm gonna
Dubai.
check that out.
You're able to go to I believe it was one Tibet. You're able to
Nice.
I believe it's still rather new. So I wouldn't raise expectations too high, but it's a platform that I use on the Pico VR headset that allows you to do that.
Nice. So this is all very exciting. I mean, I think the opportunities that are basically just going to be limited by how long it takes somebody, like you said, someone's going to beat you to it. You're just going to try to do it. And I mean, the technology is there, and now it's just a matter of getting it pushed out to the public. And I'll have to say, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what you have planned for the sampler. I mean, I'm sure that's not in the not too distant future. And we do have some of the sampler people here in our audience. So, make sure you stay tuned. If you're not following It's the Sampler on Instagram, jump on there so that you'll know when it's launched and everyone can get on there. Boo Bangers, yep, we got you. Kip, everybody from the Sampler. This is going to be great. So anything else you want to share with us about your work and what you're doing, or something we should be looking forward to?
Yes. So I would just end with this is that, like I said earlier, anybody on here who's a creator on any worlds on here, Horizon Worlds, you already have the skills to build for mixed reality. I would say the best thing is to take everything that you do here and just adapt it to mixed reality, where now everything, all the words that you have, all the content and everything, they can interact with it in the real world. So I would say, because y'all already have the skills, you're way ahead of everyone else. And just me finishing a hackathon on Meta already kind of told me that this is still really early. It's still a huge opportunity for everyone in this room. And I think that everybody, if you're a creator, you don't even have to be a developer. Just be a person that, that's a part of it. Like, either it's just promoting it, attending an event, or using the mixed reality app. They're looking for people to continue to push it, to push it further. I would say, really get into it, and really just, put your best foot forward and take your time and take your talent and expand it outside just outside of the norm. It's definitely an open opportunity for everyone in this room.
So if someone is interested, and I'm sure somebody is listening right now and going, that's kind of cool, I want to do that. Could they reach out to you for guidance as to how to get going?
Yes. The best way to reach out to me is through my Instagram, Rex, REX _Xzec, XZEC. I'm here sometimes, but I'm also on Horizon Worlds as well. Same information. You can reach out to me directly. Pull me to the side if you want to. Go into private instance. We could talk. Anything, any thoughts that you have on mixed reality. I'm your guy. I can kind of point you in the right direction.
So let me ask you, with as people who might be out here right now who want to just get involved in, or just buy a pair of glasses so that they can get involved in it and check it out. Do you have any specific, ones that you would say this is a more affordable entry level to jump into it, other than the headset?
Yes, I would say the best one is Xreal. Xreal is the most affordable augmented reality glasses, I would say, to get started. And the good news about that is that if you're not a build For Meta, you also know how to build for there. It's really no difference between the two. Now the controls and everything may be a little different. You'll be using more of your hand. It's more of hand tracking. But I would say because it's more affordable, it allows you to get a really good experience on how to build for augmented and mixed reality because it's different from VR. I'll just say, but that would be the most affordable pair of glasses I would say to really get started, and I definitely would highly recommend it. And they do have a Discord channel. They do have a Discord channel as well. Join the Discord channel as well. There's a lot of good people on there. I'm on there as well. You can reach out to me on there as well also.
Awesome. And we're going to put all these slides and your contact information and everything in our Discord as well, along with this video, as always. I did, when I bring people on, I usually go and do a lot of homework and a little bit of stalking so that I can find out more about you and what you're doing. And I was looking at your Instagram and your in your Twitter and everything, and I found your website where you have all your apps. And then all of a sudden in my feed, I start getting all of this augmented reality stuff, because Big Brother's always watching and filling us with all the ads that they can. But I did see a really cool pair of glasses. It was called Lucid glasses. It said they were relatively new. And they looked so cool because they were actually, again, lightweight, which I love that concept, but they looked like a pair of glasses, like that you would wear from the optometrist. They turned into sunglasses when you went outside. They didn't have all the capabilities that all the other ones had, but they did have quite a few. Yes. And, one of the ones, let's look at something that's just simply so basic for those of you who are like, oh, well, I'm never going to get into all of the, high tech stuff and everything. They had directions, something that we all can use. It had like the Google Maps built into it, which I know is similar to the ones that Meta put out earlier this year and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's like, it was just so cool because I was like, all right, you know what? That's pretty amazing. Like basic stuff. Things that we use every day to function. So for, anyone who's like, well, I don't need Bitcoin and I don't need gaming and I don't need those, it's going to become part of just basic stuff too. So keep that in mind, this is here. It's going to get to here. So, if you're interested, learn more about it now, because like you said, this is the time to get into things. If you're interested in being a developer, it's also the time to get interested if you're just interested in being a user. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, I am grateful to you for coming on here and teaching us about all of this. This is exciting. I'm really happy to find out that this stuff is not, off in the distance. This is now and very soon in the future. So that is amazing. Absolutely. And maybe, we'll be. Maybe we'll be bringing you back in season 5 to get updates on how things are going and to hear if there's anything new happening. That would be pretty cool. Is there any closing thoughts on, just your thoughts to any creators out there who are interested in general about getting involved in anything? That first step, what do you think it is?
I would say if you want to be a developer, the first step is to really just start building stuff. Really use the tools that are available to you, like YouTube. That's how I got started. I started with one YouTube tutorial that turned an app, and then from there I pretty much just kind of built it from there. I would say if you're a developer, do that. I would say as a content creator, I would say just read up on everything about it. Start posting about it every day, because once you get into the habit of like seeing it all the time and really reading on it and everything, it starts like you start to become a thought leader, I would say, because those are the people that we need. Like, as far as developers, we need people that like, we need influencers. We need people to push the word about mixed reality and augmented reality. We all can't do it. We can't do it ourselves. We all need to kind of do it together. So I just want to close and say it's more jobs out there for augmented and mixed reality besides just developers. It's for much everybody. If you're an influencer, man, influence, please.
We'll be pushing for you. So thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight to listen to this. And thank you, Rex, for sharing your story with us and what you're doing.
Pleasure.
Next week, we will have our monthly training with Pixel Addict. He's going to come on and he's going to teach us about some really cool new things in AI. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because he actually messaged me earlier this week and said, hey, I got something really cool that I'm going to be sharing with everyone. So I think you want to be here for that. You don't want to miss it. And he's going to be coming on to share. You know, we've had him on many times before, and he was, you know, co-host in season 1. He is the AI guru, and he's doing big things. So he's going to give us all some pointers on some really cool things that we should be able to do as well. So that will be next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you all have a great week. And thank you for coming out tonight. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Rex.
Thank you. Pleasure.